It's Monday and it's question and answer time. Now, I often get asked about what happens when we die, and obviously when we lose a loved one, we're upset and we want to know that they're okay. So one of the first things that happens is actually before they pass, and so often you'll find that that loved one may be talking to people who died 20 years ago, or just people that you know have been gone some time. And so it's easy to think that they're confused or they're hallucinating or delirious or whatever. Obviously there are times when that is exactly what's happening. But more often than not, that is their loved ones coming in around them to get them ready to pass. We've had it drummed into us since we were kids, you don't go away with strangers, you always go off with someone you know. And it's very true. And even if you don't remember any relatives, there's always going to be friends, or there'll be people that you know. If you're very religious, you may see Virgin Mary, or you may see Jesus or God, or even angels, excuse me, because they're all trusted figures. So nobody passes alone, okay? So the next thing that you need to know is that actually passing, dying, is a very personal thing. And so a lot of people, their soul just knows when they're ready to pass. And so quite often people will find that they get to the hospital or wherever, only to find that they just passed 2 minutes ago and they missed it. Or it might be that you've sat by the bedside for the whole week, and the one time you go to the bathroom or take a call, they pass. Don't feel bad about that, because that person, their soul, has chosen when they're going to pass. Now, you also have to bear in mind that the reason I'm saying person and soul is because if I'm lying in bed and I'm not well, that's Tracy. But my soul knows what's right for it and what's wrong for it, and my soul knows when it's its time to go. And so they're two different entities when you think of it like that, a bit like the conscious and the subconscious, okay? So it's something that a lot of people do feel bad about. I read for a lot of people where they've lost a loved one and they missed their passing by minutes, or they've just stepped out to take a call or something, and they come back and they've passed. So let go of the guilt, because that soul has chosen when to pass, but they wanted you to be there just after it happened. So, they needed you around them even if you weren't there. So once the person has died and the soul leaves the physical body, so now the soul goes to heaven, if you want to call it that, or returns to spirit, or whatever you want to call it. Once that soul is back in spirit, if it's had a traumatic passing, so a car accident, a murder or suicide, or just something really difficult, then they will go to a hospital in spirit where their soul is given a chance to heal. If they don't have a difficult passing, like they may have known it was coming and they went peacefully, or they just died of old age, then they will just straight away go back to be with their loved ones. So those souls that are in the hospital, once they've healed, they will go back to their family also. So basically everybody in your soul group lives together, and when they've all died and returned to spirit, then they will be back together as a soul group. It doesn't matter if you had 2 husbands and you couldn't stand your first husband or wife. You will still be with them, because their soul is not the same as that person that you were married to. They could have been the biggest narcissist, the most abusive person in the world, but that's not their soul. That's the part that they were playing in this life, okay? So now you're all back together, and now you all get to kind of have a bit of a debrief. So it would be a little bit like if you were playing a part in a murder mystery thingy, and at the end of it you all have a little bit of a chat and go, oh my god, I had to do this and I had to do that, and I was supposed to be doing this, and I was told that I would be the murderer, and so that is life. We are playing a role, a part, because of what it gives us and how we grow, okay? So once you get to have the debrief, you'll obviously understand why you picked a brother who was awful to you, or why you had a mother that loved you. It didn't matter what you did, she just was never, ever, ever going to not love you, and everything else in between. So what happens then is that some souls will just stay in heaven until they're ready to reincarnate. Others may decide they want to evolve, so they will go and be teachers, they will go and be healers. Some of them might decide to become a guide for somebody next time round rather than reincarnate. So you don't sit in heaven doing nothing. And generally this is why I always say, if you're going for a reading, make sure you start telling your loved ones that you're going for a reading so that they get the message. Because if they are busy, they need to make the time to be able to send that portion of their soul to be here to communicate with me for you, okay? And then basically your loved ones are always around you. They're omnipotent, so they're like God or oxygen. They are everywhere all at the same time. If you move to Australia, they will be there still. If you move house, they will go with you. So it doesn't matter where you go or what you do, you'll never leave them behind, okay? And a lot of people do fear about that, and it stops them moving on with their life. So your loved ones are always there. I always get asked if they're okay, and the answer is absolutely they're okay, because we are living in hell, okay? So when we die and we go to heaven, that is just all about pure love. There's nothing negative there. It's all fabulous, all right? It is here where it is difficult. So hell is on earth, and when we die, that's it, it's over, and we can have a bit of an easy ride for a while. So don't ever worry about your loved ones and worry that they're not okay, because they absolutely are, okay? So I hope that helps, and know that no matter how somebody passes, no matter whether you'd all fallen out or were all the bestest of friends, it will still be there, okay? And so if you fell out with somebody and they passed, they will let go of that, and the person that they were before you fell out will still come in around you, okay? So I hope that helps, and I look forward to next week's question and answer. If there's anything you particularly want to know about, then do comment, and I will do my best to do a video for you.